and welcome to oliveboard platform and very good afternoon to all of you. Hi, I'm Shefali. Welcome you all SSC Railway Coaching official YouTube channel English Medium. Hi, very good afternoon guys. Good evening as well. Good evening. Please join me quickly for the remaining portion of your fundamental right. In your previous class, we have already discussed the 5 fundamental rights, right? And today in this class, we are going to discuss a very important and a crucial part of the fundamental right, which we called it as a constitutional remedies. So before starting a session, don't forget to share this session with all your friends and don't forget to like this session as well. Hi. Very good afternoon guys. Please join me quickly again. Okay. So, basically, the fundamental rights were started from the Article 12, right? Like here. In an initial way, we have already studied that fundamental rights are basically divided into 6 important parts. And the first is right to equality, Article 14 to 18. Right to freedom, Article 19 to 22. Right against exploitation, Article 23 to 24, right to freedom of religion, Article 25 to 28, culture and educational, Article 29 to 30, and finally we have a right that is constitutional remedies, Article 32. What is remedies? If we talk about the remedies, so basically this was the complete part, yeah. The right to constitutional remedies give the citizen the right to approach the Supreme Court or the High Court to implement the fundamental right. So, whenever you are using this fundamental right only whenever you are not able to hold your other fundamental rights or not able to use your other or the remaining fundamental rights. In that case, this particular fundamental rights give you an approach, give you an idea or remedies to how to use your fundamental right through the interference of Supreme Court and the High Court. Now, the courts can issue order to give to the government to implement the right. Now, whenever you are approaching the Supreme Court and the High Court, now the government will, they will do? So, basically, they will issue an order which is also termed as writs, okay, to implementation of the fundamental rights. The right to constitutional remedies is given by Article 32 to 35 of the Constitution. Your Article 32 is regarding, or according to this article, the courts can grant 5 type of writs. Sometimes they can ask you a question, how many writs can be issued by the Supreme Court or the High Court? So, the Supreme Court and the High Courts can issue 5 type of writs. Well, Supreme Court can issue writs for the proceeding of fundamental right according to the Article 32. While High Court also can issue writs for the proceeding of fundamental rights according to the Article 226. Okay, so Supreme Court can issue those 5 writs according to the Article 32 and High Court can also issue those 5 writs according to the Article 226. Now, name the 5 writs, very important. So, basically the writs name are as here. First is habeas corpus, okay. Second is mandamus. Third is quo warranto. Fifth is prohibition. Sixth is certiorari. Each of this writ is explained here. See here. For example, let's have a discussion on the habeas corpus first of all. this is your very first writ of the Article 32. Sometimes they can ask you a question, what is the literal meaning of this? What is the literal meaning of this writ or blah blah. So, if we talk about the literal meaning of habeas corpus, the literal meaning of the habeas corpus is to have the body. This is a literal meaning we can use for the habeas corpus, right? Now, habeas corpus basically by this writ, the court can cause any person who has been detained or imprisoned to be physically brought before the court. Okay. The habeas corpus writ can be issued against any person or private or any officials or the government officials also. So, suppose there is a one government officer okay, who actually detained a person. This government officer detained a person. Now, how would you know about the detention or about the arrest? So, I have told you regarding the Article 22 second freedom. What Articles 22 state that if a person is going to be arrested, there should be a criteria that he has to be present in any court or subordinate court or in front of magistrate to verify the person's is a same person is going to be arrested or not. Okay. So, to verify that part, that means you are arrested. If you are presented in a any court or the subordinate court, that means this is not your detention, this is your complete legal arrest. If not, that means you are detained by a government officer. Once you detain, that means in that condition, can you use your fundamental right? No, I guess so, no, obviously. So, that means in this condition, your fundamental rights are completely suspended by a particular entity or the person or the private official or the government official as well. Now, in this case, the Supreme Court and High Court can issue writ to this government officer of habeas corpus that you have to present this particular person before the court. Okay. So, this is a complete habeas corpus you can use. So, basically this writ would not this particular writ would not lie if a person is not actually detained. Okay, clear everyone? Now, let's move to the second writ, and the second writ is mandamus. What is the literal meaning of mandamus? So, the literal meaning of mandamus is to command. We command. For example, there's another government officer who have a particular legal duties to do, but actually he is not performing his duty, and in that case, if this government officer is unable to perform his or her duties, legal duties, only in that case Supreme Court can issue or High Court can issue the mandamus writ, and through this writ they basically order or command this person to perform his or her legal duties. Clear everyone? Okay. So, basically it is a command directing to a person, corporation or any inferior court or any public authority to do the things or perform the act which is specified for your post or to your post. Okay. Now, moving to the next writ, and your next writ is prohibition. Basically, prohibition, the literal meaning of prohibition is actually, if we talk about the, okay, so to be informed, sorry, to forbid. To forbid. For example, there's any subordinate court, है ना? And the subordinate court has their limit area. That means in this limit area only they can, or it can be resolve their issues or any matter. Now, the subordinate court is going out from this limit area, and beyond his limit area he is solving a course or solving any case or matter or any issue. In that case, Supreme Court or High Court can issue writ mandamus and give the suggestion to subordinate court, so to be in your limit. This is a condition whenever there is a prohibition case arise. Now, moving to the next part, and your next writ is certiorari. This particular writ, the literal meaning is to be informed. Okay. For example, there is a one subordinate court, and this particular court has lot of work to do. But due to the lack of time and the burden of the work, they are just unable to solve these cases, or their pending work is basically compiling day by day. Right? Now, to cater this kind of thing, the Supreme Court and the High Court can issue certiorari and ask a court to transfer a matter or any cases which are pending from a long hour or basically long time. In this condition, the Supreme Court or High Court can issue this certiorari. Now, the last is Cor 1 and 2. The literal meaning of this particular writ is basically what your authority. Don't worry, we have a quick revision on the writs as well. If you find any issues or if you are unable to grab this part. See, what your authority? For example, there's a one government office. Okay, in this government office, there's a one head who has a chamber. Now, the other officers are also appointed here, and the immediate junior of this authority is here. He is also doing some work. There is also some work. Now, this head is on leave. Without any notice, without any authority, without any information, this officer start taking advantage of his vacant post. Now, he is start taking duties of this post only. In this case, the Supreme Court and the High Court will issue a writ to this personality or this government officer and ask him or her by what authority you are handling this post, and do you have any charges of this post? Give a proper answer in a written format. So basically, these are the conditions we can take whenever there's a issue or whenever there's a fundamental rights violate. First was habeas corpus. A particular person is detained by a government officer. Mandamus, particular government officer denied to perform his or her duty. Quor warranto, whenever basically the another person who is not appointed for a particular post is starting doing a work or starting taking a task on this particular past. Prohibition, whenever the subordinate court cross their limit and try to manage or handle a matter or case beyond their limit, in that case prohibition. Certiorari, whenever whenever the subordinate court is just burdened with the pending cases, in that case the certiorari. So basically there are 5 important type of writ we can use for the proceeding of fundamental right. I hope so you got the idea regarding this. Okay or not?